Hello everyone. Welcome to our new episode of Data Analytics and AI podcast. Today we have Santosh Karthikeyan Viswanathan, an expert in cloud and AI solution for healthcare. Welcome Santosh. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Prerna. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, great. Could you start by sharing how cloud computing is revolutionizing the use of AI in healthcare, like particularly in terms of scalability and real-time data analytics?
Sure, this is a very interesting question. As we see AI is revolutionizing the healthcare, I think we have a growing demand where we have a kind of a scalable infrastructure where we can it can handle diversified data sets and also bring in an innovative cloud solution which helps the R&D scientist. Being the highly regulated industry, it is important to have a validated infrastructure. So we need to factor in the growing data volume, which we see every day, and also the complexity with the data itself is growing. So it is critical for the organizations to factor in a scalable cloud solution which can kind of plug in with the AI models that we develop for our use cases. Yeah.
That's really fantastic. What are some of the key challenges healthcare organizations encounter when implementing AI, and like how does cloud technology assist in overcoming them?
Yeah, again, a great question. This is something is an industry challenge is around when we talk about the pharmaceutical industry. It's a highly regulated industry, so it is important to make sure that we factor in an infrastructure which is more compliance by design, and that's where the security comes into picture. And we also want to make sure that the regulation compliance is also given due importance. So whatever cloud service providers we are associated with, it is important that we factor in the data security and regulation as a key priority for the organization. And There are also growing factor that whenever we talk about GPU enabled services handling the different data sets, because the cases could be around the image analysis where we handle large volume of data. That's where we need a high computational engine, and we need to make sure that we have the computing resource which is more scalable. So that's where the demand comes from.
Great. Could you share some examples of how cloud-based AI has directly impacted patient care or improved healthcare operations?
Sure. There are many use cases which the industry is trying to solve, starting from drug discovery. That's where the AI solution in connective to the cloud solution comes into picture. For example, the scientists are looking at novel therapies in identifying the potential drug candidates. For that, we need a kind of a robust infrastructure which can handle the large data sets, and there are varied computational resources that is available in the market, which IT collaborates with the business in enabling that for the scientists. So one is around the drug discovery part of it, and the other on the imaging analysis. That's where the different genomics data, pathology images are kind of analyzed by the scientists in terms of identifying any patterns of data. And one of the typical use cases is around the predictive analytics, where large number of data sets from specific therapeutic areas or kind of trained using the ML models, and the output are assessed for any data insights which can support the business, and finally, like, it is going to deliver value to our patients. As we are in the patient centric organization, it is important to factor in some of the traditional use cases around how we can enable technology which is patient friendly and also useful for the patients at the end of the day. Another example I can think of is the real-time data monitoring, where the real-time data comes from the digital devices, and it's a typical use cases we see in the industry. So it is important that we kind of build in an infrastructure where the data flows in seamlessly, and also the computation powers also play a key role in processing the data, and ultimately the outputs are trustworthy and reliable for our patients.
Very well explained. So, Santosh, as we know, real-time data analytics is crucial in healthcare. So, how does it enhance decision making, and like what role does cloud infrastructure plays here?
Yeah, so as I said, the patient, let's take an example, the patient health, electronic health records, for example. So there should be a kind of a computation engine to process these real-time patient data into the system, and that's where the collaboration plays a key role, right? In terms of it could be from the data scientists, it could be from the cloud engineers who are providing the platform, and there are various other stakeholders, right, which comes into play when we take the overall pharma value chain. So it is important to provide that robust infrastructure in terms of processing these real-time data, and it should be faster and quicker. When we say faster and quicker, we need a kind of a robust platform for that to handle such large data sets, which is coming in milliseconds. So that's where the cloud services comes in handy, and we go with the cloud services. I still remember the days 10 years back when there are a lot of hesitance to kind of move away from the on-prem to the cloud infrastructure. So there are a lot of leadership discussion that has gone through whether we should go to cloud, how about the security, and those have been the discussion of the past. But now every solution we built relies on the cloud solution, and real-time data monitoring is a typical use case, right, where patients' data is monitored every second seamlessly using these cloud services, and the data that we get out of it provide great insights, and ultimately it helps to analyze if there are any kind of novel solutions we can arrive out of it, and if there are any proactive ways of kind of preventing any diseases in a particular therapeutic area. So yeah, real-time data analytics is a key solution, I would say, for the industry now.
That's really insightful. So, what are the some common AI applications in healthcare that are significantly enhanced by scalability of cloud computing?
Yeah, so when we talk about significant scalability, we all know, like in cloud world, we leverage pay as you use model, and cost comes into picture, right? When we look at kind of a scalable solution, and we do enable the solutions which are more like auto scaling options, right? Whenever we see a large volume of data and the workload increases based on the data transaction, we see an increase in the growing volume of data. That's where auto scaling comes into picture, and it is equally important to kind of assess like whether the platform is highly scalable. So we need to factor in certain architecture principles as well in terms of embedding a scalable architecture, and also enabling the data flow seamlessly, because I see there are some industry challenges where data operate in silos and there are legacy systems as well. So we need to factor in those in terms of integrating the data together within this infrastructure, and build a robust scalable solution to address the use cases we are into.
Great. So, looking ahead, what do you see AI and cloud computing evolving in healthcare over the next 5 to 10 years, like especially in personalized medicine and predictive analytics?
Yeah, so this we see AI is continuously evolving, and there are a lot of new technologies coming every day, and that's where I think our job has been made easy when we talk about cloud solution, because we are given a ready-made environment which we can play around, and the dynamic changes in the technology is inbuilt with any of the cloud service providers we are into, and we can make sure that we can test that out within the environment we are into, and also we can see whether the use case sorry, the use case we are trying to solve is kind of scalable, and also we are able to address the business challenge, which is important for us. So we are accelerating the phase in terms of solving the business problem with the help of technology. So the fusion of science and technology plays together, and I think the next 5 to 10 years, we are talking about Gen AI, we are talking about AI agents. So I'm sure these will be embedded as part of the cloud service offerings with the different service providers. And as a business user, we can directly plug in our use case and kind of build a positive outcome for our patients.
Well explained. So at last, I just wanted to know, like, how can smaller healthcare provider utilize AI and cloud computing to compete with larger organizations in terms of innovation and efficiency?
Yeah, again, a great question. I think the pathway remains the same when you talk about the highly regulated industry, irrespective of small, medium, or large enterprises. We need to make sure that we handle the data responsibly, because regulation comes into picture, and data standards is something we need to adhere to. And especially when we talk about small enterprises, we have to make sure that we talk the language of the customers. So it is important that understand the specific use cases, and leverage some of the cloud services which is more data secure, and also provide a capability which solves the business problem. So I think they need to build a AI strategy in combination of the cloud solution, which can address the business problem, and ultimately serve the customers in a faster and a quicker way. So these are my immediate thoughts around that, Prerna.
So thank you, Santosh, for sharing such a valuable insight on this evolving topic. And it's been a pleasure having you on our show.
Thank you for having me, Prerna.